Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we will be going over my Week 5 match for the 8th season of the GPC. This week we are up against Ace Trainer Josh, coach of the Texas Turtwigs. Please go check him out. His link will be in the description down below, as well as a link to all of the other coaches in the GPC this season, so you can follow along with the entirety of the season and get lots of Draft League content. So for the history of this match, as of right now, we are 1-3, which is unfortunate in a division that's filled with a bunch of 2-2 teams. However, this is an out-of-division match, so it's not as important for the playoff race, but it's still just as important for us because, realistically, if we want to make playoffs, we're going to have to try to win out, and it's, so it starts off with Josh. We got to beat him, but let's look at the teams we have here. If you want to know more in depth about my team, I did upload a team builder. The link to that will also be in this description below. But for just a quick overview, we have a physically defensive, support-heavy Uxie with knockoff, U-turn, Giga Drain, and Thunder Wave, Life Orb, 4 attacks, Weavile, Scarf, Darmanitan. Then we have a very support-heavy, once again, Whimsicott with Tailwind, Defog, U-turn, and Hidden Power Ground. We have Life Orb 4 attacks, Landorus with Earth Power, Sludge Wave, U-turn, and Rock Slide. And then we have Dragonium Z, Dragon Dance, Haxorus. Looking at what Josh brought to the table, he has the Latias, the Mega Mawile, the Alolan Ninetales, the Piloswine, the Heatran, and the Manectric. Not too many surprises, other than the Manectric was definitely an iffy one, and kind of the same with the Ninetales. I'm a little surprised there was no Slowking or Shaman, but again, Josh, I'm sure, had his reasons for not bringing them, so go check out his channel to find out why he didn't bring them. But yeah, looking at lead matchups, just very clearly, like, my lead should be Darmanitan, and I'm perfectly fine with that. As I can just U-turn on whatever Josh decides to lead, as he leads with his Heatran here. So I figured there's no way that, like, he knows that Darmanitan has Earthquake. There's no way he's going to stay in, so I can just very safely U-turn out. But Josh actually has the Protect, and we talked after the match, and it was specifically for scouting what Scarf Darmanitan wanted to do. So I'm going to U-turn out expecting him to switch, but he actually stays in. So me not wanting to get any of my my physical attackers burned from a potential Will-O-Wisp, I go out into my Uxie, which is the thing that can, in general, sponge damage the most and would not mind being burned the most. But as we see here, Josh actually goes for Magma Storm and crits me. Now, the crit doesn't really matter, but the Magma Storm is really bad, as if I don't have this Uxie around, then the Piloswine is a huge issue for my team. So I need to U-turn out of here and hope he doesn't, like, try to Protect stall me with the out of U-turns, even though I don't really think that's possible. Not out of U-turns, sorry. Out of HP with the Magma Storm. But Josh actually just goes for the taunt, trying to stop my potential rocks, even though I'm not carrying them on this. So I safely U-turn out, and I go into my Haxorus, as nothing really wants to take an Earthquake. The best thing he has to deal with it is, as we see here, his Piloswine. So I just go for the safe Earthquake, and it does an okay chunk. Now, me fearing, like, I'm just gonna go into my Uxie, as it's like my dedicated switch into the Piloswine, and I don't really fear what he wants to do, as it doesn't do too much, and he just goes for a safe rock, so good enough play. Now here, I don't want to call it a misplay, but I just want to call it the safe play that didn't exactly work out. So the safe play here is to knock off, because getting rid of Piloswine's Eviolite is obviously a pretty good thing to happen, as that makes Piloswine in general a lot less of a threat. So I'm going to go for the knockoff here, but Josh makes that read pretty easily and goes straight into his Mawile. Takes nothing from the knockoff, even with a crit, it doesn't matter. So now here, I cannot let this thing set up a sub for free, so I'm going to click Thunder Wave, because I know I outspeed this, in case he does want to go out for a sub. But Josh makes the safe play and just attacks what's in front of him with Play Rough, and down goes Uxie. Not the greatest, but it's fine. So now here, I have to pressure this out. Mawile is way too big of a threat. I have to pressure this out here. He should know that if I am not bulk invested at all with Landorus, Sucker Punch can't kill here, and Earth Power is guaranteed OHKO on this Mawile. So I'm going to predict his switch into most likely his Latias and just go for the U-turn here. as we see that does happen, and U-turn is going to get off a massive amount of damage, which shows that he's a little bit bulk invested, enough to the point where it seems that he just he's speed creeping my Landorus, basically, which is what his Latias needs, is speed creep. So now here I go into Weavile, and it's definitely the right play. I am risking Scarf here, but if he Scarf Weavile, or sorry, if he Scarf this thing, Latias, if he Scarf Latias, then I'm fine with letting Weavile go down, as if he's Scarf Latias, then Whimsicott can kind of check it, or at least gain momentum off of it. So I'm risking the Scarf here, but like we can see, it is not Scarf. Jeez, I can't talk right now. As I go for the safe play and go for knockoff, but I mean, there wasn't too much, like, I wasn't going to be able to do too much damage to this Mawile anyways. Now, on this turn, I have to be honest, I was 100% predicting him to just go for Sucker Punches, because if you watch my team builder, I don't have Ice Shard on this Weavile. I have Icicle Crash, Knockoff, Low Kick, and Poison Jab. So I am 100% expecting him to go for Sucker Punch here. So because of that, I'm just going to click Icicle. I'm going to click Icicle Crash here, and I'm just, because honestly, it's just the thing that gets the most damage off. So I'm going to click Icicle Crash here, and he actually doesn't click Sucker Punch, and then I crit him, and then wait for it, I flinch him. So first off, I decided, like, I just thought to myself, well, I guess I could go for the pair of flinch hacks. Like, I wasn't going for it at first, but then I thought, well, I could go for the pair of flinch hacks here. But, like, that flinch won't matter unless he gets flinched again. But, I mean, Icicle Crash still does the most damage, so I'm going to go for it anyways. So, again, I click Icicle Crash, and it does... I don't get the crit again, which is thankfully enough. But then I flinch him again, and I'm sorry, Josh. I don't know if you'll believe me, but I swear, the first time it happened, I was not... The first time it happened, I was not going for the paraflinch. The second time, I definitely was. But anyways, I guess it's like kind of reverse hacks from last week. I think it's trying to make up for, because last week was just so unfortunate. But anyways, I went for the knockoff here on the off chance that he wanted to save this, but he does just smartly go for the Sucker Punch. It still does a ridiculous amount of damage, even though it's a resisted hit. And then down goes Mega Mawile, which was a huge threat to my team, so I'm really glad about that. Now here, I go for the knockoff to try to knock it off, but he goes for the Ice Shard, picking this off. Very safe play here. Oh, come on. I clicked pause. I thought I did. Well, it doesn't matter. It didn't go too far ahead. So, I probably could have just gone into this Darmanitan here and just clicked Fire Punch, because that's what I have instead of Flare Blitz this time. But yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, the Ice Shard flew over my head, but down goes Weavile, which is fine because it did something at least. It's gonna make countering this Latias, now that we know it's not Scarfed. Actually, I don't know if it's Scarfed yet. I guess I only assume it's Scarfed because he didn't stay in on the Weavile. But anyways, after Weavile goes down, I go into this, and I go for U-turn because I figured he thinks I have Flare Blitz. There's no way. I don't think he stays in even with Thick Fat and Eviolite. So once again, I just U-turn, and he goes into his Manectric, and U-turn gets a good chunk off of this, and I'm going to go offensively pressure this into Haxorus. And here, this is where me not knowing his set kind of really puts a damper on this. I don't really think it matters all that much because basically I was contemplating a lot whether I should set up a Dragon Dance here or whether I should oh geez, I can't think, or whether I should just Earthquake. If he is Scarf Manectric, then I can't Dragon Dance because he has speeds after my Dragon Dance and can 2-hit KO with HP Ice. If he specs or boosting item Manectric, I can live an HP Ice and kill after, but then Ice Shard come from Piloswine, jeez, I can't talk, will come and revenge me. If he's non-boosting item, there's a chance I can live HP Ice plus Ice Shard. And I just, in the end, decide to play it safe and just attack what's in front of me and click Earthquake here. As we see, he does go for HP Ice, and he reveals that he is not boosting item. And in fact, we talked after the match, and he was not Scarfed either. He was actually AV to deal with my my own Megaane trick, which is a little unfortunate because if I had a Dragon Dance up here, I think I had. I honestly don't remember if I had. I don't think at this HP I did, but there's a chance if HP Ice got a low enough roll, I could have. I had a chance to live Ice Shard after. So in the end, I don't think it really matters that much. It's just, you know, I brought this because I really wanted to set up with it, and I just couldn't find the time to set up with it, unfortunately. But that's okay. So seeing as he goes into this, it's pretty clear that he's trying to offensively check this. If you watch my team builder, I pretty much like thought 100% that his Latias would be defensive to try to deal with my Landorus, but yeah, that U-turn that Landorus landed on it before, just clearly it was not a defensive Latias. So I'm just going to switch out here into my Whimsicott just in case he goes for the Dragon move here. But Josh makes the even smarter play because my team is very Ice Weak and just goes for Ice Beam. Does a massive amount, and here I make, I don't want to say I choke the game away, but I make a couple of mispredictions. For one, I'm fully expecting him to just attack what's in front of me, and right now I'm just going to go for the Tailwind, because once he kills me with this, then I can just go into Landorus, threaten him out with U-turn, either killing this Latias or getting momentum on whatever else wants to come in. And yeah, so that's basically my play here. But as we can see, he actually switches out into his Alolan Ninetales, and so my Tailwind is pretty much for nothing because I already have Speed this, or at least I should. Now here, what? Oh, no. I think, okay, so I'm going to go for Defog here. Seeing that, again, I'm trying to think, like, I'm thinking he's just going to attack this. Like, he's going to kill this with Blizzard or whatever move he wants to use, and he's going to kill this. So I'm going to use this chance to get Prankster Defog off. So I do that, but then Josh goes and reveals some very oh, no. I'm sorry. So this is Aurora Veil. So again, I'm going to defog this Aurora Veil away because I cannot have him Aurora Veiling me because things get too bulky. And he reveals Hypnosis, and this is where I start making some really bad predictions. Because once I saw Hypnosis, I just started playing very poorly around the Hypnosis. I just kind of got into a panic and was like, well, I just know I didn't properly play around it, because with this, like, admittedly, I would argue that Whimsicott is definitely the prime candidate to be put to sleep, considering what the rest of my team still consists of. It's just I ended up playing poorly around it, especially now that my Tailwind's just going to go down, and yeah. Anyways, I just go for HP Ground to try to just get some damage off, but he finally hits Hypnosis. And again, I'm trying to, I believe I try to wake up here and go for Tailwind. Or, no, I apologize. Yes, this makes sense. This does make sense. Okay, so again, I'm expecting him to attack what's in front of me. And seeing that he's Fairy Ice, Darmanitan actually doesn't take too much from it. I think the max he can take is like 30% from a Blizzard, I think. But yeah, so seeing that, once he does that, I can I can go out and kill him with Fire Punch again. But he doesn't attack what's in front of him and goes for the Aurora Veil. And this is really, really bad because, again, if you watch my team builder, I have Fire Punch instead of Flare Blitz. Basically, the reasoning for that, well, I mean, if you want to see the reasoning for that, just go watch my team builder. But pretty much what this means is that Flare Blitz can kill through the Aurora Veil. Fire Punch cannot. So, expecting him to want to go for, expecting him to want to go into Heatran here because his, oh jeez, I can't talk. Because his Ninetales would die to a Flare Blitz, I'm going to U-turn here. And unfortunately, he stays in. So I don't know whether he predicted me for that, or or whether there was a clear play that I'm missing. But I could have at least gotten damage off, because now I have to go into Whimsicott and basically just sack it off without getting a Tailwind off. And this is really unfortunate. Freeze Dry, I mean, that makes sense. I have a Tentacruel. So Now, kind of the same deal here. I'm going to go back into Darmanitan, and I just figure, okay, well, he saw I'm going to U-turn again. Like, if he thinks I have Flare Blitz, I would go for it here, because I U-turned on him last time, so I need to make the correct play this time. So seeing, like, me thinking that Josh would predict me to go for Flare Blitz again and go into Keytran, instead of trying to get momentum, I'm just going to try to straight up attack it and go for Earthquake. But Josh actually stays in again and just goes for Hypnosis, and he hits it, and that's unfortunately, like, I really don't know if I can win from here now, because now he goes into Latios, and I just try to wake up to try to do anything. Like, the only way, really, I could have gotten myself back into this game was predict to switch into Latios, and try to switch into I don't even know what. Like, there was really nothing I could go into, because Latios can we assume anyways, Latios can outspeed and kill with Draco or Ice Beam or whatever he has. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, right now you're going to get to watch pretty much Latios just clean the game, as he, I believe, is going to... Oh no, he roosts here? Right. Okay, so my only... Sorry, I literally just played the game. I don't know why I don't remember this stuff. But anyways, my only chance of winning here is I have to Dragon Dance here. I have to Dragon Dance and just hope that that somehow Josh chokes the game away. That's pretty much the only way I can win from here. So I go for Dragon Dance, but unfortunately Psyshock kills, and yeah, now you're gonna get to see Latios sweep from here, as I'm gonna try to U-turn to wake up, like, just to do anything, but unfortunately Draco kills from here. And then Ice Beam can kill Landorus after that, and that is going to be GG, for Josh, as he picks up the 4-0 win against us, and we are now, unfortunately, 1-4 in the season, and that really blows for our differential. That was definitely my worst game of the season, like, by far. I played very poorly around the Hypnosis for one. I mean, I did make a couple mispredictions. I don't think I can call them misplays. I just think I call them mispredictions, because they're the correct play if I predict Josh to do the thing I'm predicting. But, like, they're kind of no drawback plays if he does nothing. It's weird to like listen to, but like the plays with the Darmanitan and the Ninetales, I don't think that those were misplays. I just think those were mispredictions on my part. I think those are two different terms. Misplays are just in general bad plays, but I think I just mispredicted around it. But anyways, yeah, that loss doesn't feel good, because that's the first like big loss to our big hit to our differential. As like up until this point, for being 1-3, we had decent differential, but yeah, this match was no good. It's a little frustrating because I know I'm better than this, and I am just not showing it off. Yeah, but unfortunately, playoffs are looking even more dire than they already were. Now I really have to win out. And honestly, I think if we lose one, I think we're pretty much out of playoff contention. If I just had to guess, but yeah, now I pretty much I have to win out, and that's no excuse. I need to step up my game and try to chain together some nice wins for the end of the season. So next week we're up against Ben. Yes, Ben. And the, oh shit, what's his team name? I'm sorry, Ben. Oh, the Baltimore Orioles. How could I forget that one? That team name is awesome, by the way, Ben. I love that team name. But yeah, so again, go check out Josh. His link will be in the description below, and check out all the other coaches, including our opponent for next week. And yeah, keep your eye on the channel for next week's team builder. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.